My name is Kelly Brown, and I'm a mixed media artist. I got started in art very young, as a very little girl. My parents were both entrepreneurs, so they worked a lot, and I was always encouraged to go draw them a picture, to go do artwork. It was just really a great environment to grow up in, being so young and being encouraged to do art, and it just continued for my whole life, which I'm super grateful about. I think it's interesting in the arts, my own experience has been that I've always sort of happened upon very strong female role models in the art world. From an early age, when I found comic book art, there's a comic book called ElfQuest, which is completely illustrated by a woman named Wendy Pini. And her artwork inspired me so much. I was copying her, inspired by her. And then in high school, I did take art, but only for 1 year. I actually got a D in art, but I don't know if we want to talk about that because I failed art in high school. Keep going, kids. Despite getting low grades throughout my high school years, I just always kept drawing. I was journaling and had sketchbooks. And then when it came time to make a choice to go to school, I realized that I wanted to spend my career working with the arts. So the choice was to go to the Columbus College of Art and Design and pursue an actual art degree, which I'm so thankful I did because that really opened up the world of getting fine training, and it just went on from there. After I graduated art school, I spent some time working with my family business, and then I realized I just really want to make a break and actually do something that would be art related as a career. And that's where I got the phone call to paint a mural in a home. And this was back like in 2001, and I'm like, absolutely. And I had no idea how I was going to do that, but I knew I can paint on a wall. So that was the first mural commission that I got. So I started to promote that, and then that grew into people asking me about faux finishes. So I went to a specialty school just to learn some really high-end faux finishes. I apprenticed with a local mural and faux finish company. By incorporating some of the faux finish techniques that I learned, and I had a lot of supplies left over, I was able to use that for mixed media artwork on paper. So I was troweling plaster on paper. I was experimenting with all these glazes and layering techniques that I learned as a faux finish artist, but I loved immersing myself into that kind of thing, doing art shows. I had a little side display, one little tiny display in my booth where I was selling my paintings of weird little resin magnets. And that's how Mini Miscellaneous started. It was sort of like a simple trying to make jewelry out of resin and kind of, using paint and plaster techniques for my faux finish work. Will be forever grateful to my very good friend Dina Villa. It was Dina who approached me and said, can you make a little taco magnet? That's when I used different mixed media materials, not polymer clay, and I was like, how am I gonna do this? And that's where I was like, well, what could I use? And that started the search for finding things that were affordable. What could I recycle? What's something I could look at in a new way? I'm intrinsically so motivated by looking at everyday things and just making something new out of it. That's where just this energy and unique way of approaching making tiny foods in a completely different way just inspires me still. I'm addicted to it. I have so many different facets, all in all, it comes under the title of mixed media, but doing tiny sculptures and large fine art, more personal paintings, abstract contemporary art, urban sketching, window painting. There's so many women that I look up to in a contemporary art sense. I was been lucky enough to actually do some workshops with Cheryl Taves, who's a very talented contemporary abstract artist in Canada. Susan Melrath, Carrie Schroeder, Cheryl Warwick, and Laura Terry. I actually have 3 original Laura Terrys in my home now. I do see that sometimes things can be geared more towards men, and we have a lot more work to do. But I've always found very talented women to look up to that I admire. And for me personally, I'm not judging anyone on what kind of show or work they're doing or how many women are in your show. I've learned a lot of really good skills from both men and women, and I'm proud that I am representative of women artists. And especially in some of the artwork that I'm doing, I feel I'm a little bit of a trailblazer because I understand completely that art is a process and not a product.